Hey you guys, welcome back for another chapter of Wings of Fire, the Dragonet Prophecy. Today I will be reading chapter 6. Hope you guys enjoy it, and here it is. It's not true, Sunny said. They wouldn't. They definitely would, said Tsunami. They'll do anything if they think it's right for the prophecy. The Dragonets all looked at Glory, whose scales had gone pale green. Even her usual aloof expression was gone. She paced around Tsunami's rock column, lashing her tail. But we won't let them, Clay blurted. He was right. He was still panting and dripping icy water on the stone floor. Right, Tsunami? We'll stop them. You don't have to get involved, said Glory. This is my problem, not yours. How will you stop them? Tsunami asked Clay, ignoring her. Even all of you together are no match for Kestrel, especially with Dune helping her. And I can't do anything. She bared her teeth and snapped at her chains, pulling the one around her neck dangerously tight. So we escape, just like you wanted. We get out of here, and we escape. Tonight, right now. Escape? Sunny squeaked. Seriously, Glory said. Apple red stripes flickered across her ruff like lightning. You don't have to do anything. I'm the one who doesn't fit in. I'll fight her or figure something out. Of course we have to do something, Clay said fiercely. If escape were that easily, we'd have done it already. Starflight pointed out. He stepped around Glory, stood up on his back legs, and tapped the boulder that blocked the entrance. This is the only way out. And they have it rigged on a mechanism that only the big dragons can move. They do? Clay said. Starflight nodded. You know how Dune never leaves because he can't fly? He has a stone that fits in this slot. He tapped a groove nick in the wall. He turns it here to unlock something so they can roll the boulder from inside of the cave. But when Kestrel or webs come from the outside, they must have a lever or switch they use to open it from out there. Oh. Clay felt like an idiot for trying so hard to roll the big boulder all these years. He'd never even noticed that Dune unlocked something before moving the boulder. He never thought twice about the oddly shaped stone that was always around the sand dragon's neck. So, can we steal Dune's rock? Sunny suggested. Terrible idea, Glory said immediately. They'll catch us for sure, Starflight said to Sunny, more kindly. Especially tonight, when they're already on high alert because of Marauser. Well, then what about the sky? Sunny asked. Is there any way to move the boulder without the rock? Tsunami interrupted her. Starflight shook his head. Only from the outside. It's impossible from in here. Believe me, I've thought about it. Maybe the sky, and we couldn't force it, Clay asked Starflight, even if we leaned on it really hard. Starflight shook his head as Glory said, This is all really sweet, guys, but you shouldn't get in this much trouble for me. Rouser likes the rest of you. Just let me handle myself. Stop that, Tsunami snapped at her. Acting like a martyr. Martyr? Maybe? Martyr won't help right now. Glory bristled. I'm not acting like a martyr. I'm trying to make sure nobody gets killed for no reason. Besides you, Tsunami argued. It's fine if it's you getting killed for no reason. It just doesn't matter, Glory said. I'm not even in the prophecy, so who cares what happens to me? I swear I'm going to kill you myself, Tsunami said. Glory? She's just trying to say we care, Clay interjected, in her usual gentle way. Guys, what about the sky holes? Sunny said in a rush, jumping into the brief pause in the conversation. In the study room, couldn't we fly up in there and squeeze out? Oh, Sunny, don't be ridiculous. It's way too small, Starflight explained. We never fit, especially Clay. But maybe I might. I could climb out and go around to open the boulder from the outside, like Starflight said, right? And I could let you all out. Clay brushed her wing and twined his tail around hers. Sunny hadn't even thought of escaping before today, and yet she was volunteering for the most dangerous part without hesitation. It won't work, Starflight said. I'm sorry, Sunny. I've flown up to the hole when no one was around. Me too, said Tsunami. Me too, said Glory. Clay felt slow. He'd sat below the sky hole often enough, watching the stars or clouds or rain overhead, but he'd never flown up to it or tried to climb out. Apparently, the other dragonets had thought about escape a lot more than he had. The hole is smaller than you think, Starflight said to Sunny. I can barely fit my head through it. It's not a way out. The minders wouldn't have left it there if it was, Glory said. She stopped next to Tsunami. Waves of dark green pulsing from her ears to her tail. They're too careful. There's no way you escape. There must be, Clay said desperately. He could feel time slipping away. Kestrel might come down to kill Glory at any moment. She wouldn't care if they all saw her do it. He could tell that Tsunami was thinking hard. She kept looking at him as if she wanted to say something, but then stopped herself. What if we tried talking to them? Sunny offered hesitantly. Maybe we could convince them to let her go instead. Glory snorted. Nobody else answered. Sunny sighed, pressing her wings back against her sides. You have an idea, Clay said to Tsunami. I can tell. You've been working on an escape plan forever. She wound her talons through the chains, hissing. It's too dangerous, she said. It was supposed to be me. He caught her sideways glance and followed her eyes to the river. The river. They'd only ever gone upstream, into the Guardian's cave. Downstream, the river flowed into the main cavern, along the tunnel into the battle cave, and then Clay had no idea where it went. The roof of the battle cave sank lower and lower until the river disappeared. Clay had never explored underwater in the battle cave. He never wondered about where the river went, but of course Tsunami had. Do you know where the river goes? No, I mean, I've seen the gap in the wall, but it's even smaller than the one in the Guardian's cave, she said. I've never been through in case I couldn't get back, but the river has to go somewhere. Can we get out that way? He asked. Not all of us, only me. And me, Clay said. She shook her head. Clay, you can't. You have no idea what's on the other side. You can only hold your breath for an hour. You could get trapped with no air and drown. And you can't see in the dark like me. You'd be swimming blind into who knows what. It has to be a seawing who does it. It has to be me. And even if you did get out, Starflight said, how would you ever find us again? How would you get back to the cave from the outside? Sky hole, Clay said, pouncing on an idea of his own at last. You guys start a fire at the study room, and I'll follow the smoke back to you. Then I'll know the entrance is nearby, and once I find it, I can let you all out. Glory's eyes glinted. I can think of a few scrolls I'd like to burn. Clay grinned at the shocked expression on Starflight's face. Yeah, me too. He said, throw the slug-like qualities of Mudwings on there and think of me. Stop joking about this, Tsunami cried. Clay, you can't go, and that's final. You'll almost certainly die. But Glory will die if I don't, right? There's no other way. Tsunami growled and thrashed her whole body, straining against the chains. The heavy links pressed into the scales of her neck, and she stopped with a cough. Wait, you won't be able to see the smoke until daylight, Tsunami said worriedly. Won't Kestrel come for glory by then? Clay's hopes dropped like a boulder in his stomach. He hadn't thought of that. He might not make it back in time. Might all be for nothing. Then Glory smiled, and her scales shifted into a warm, rosy pink. I know what to do, she said. Starflight's method. Act like a lump and hope when no one notices you? Tsunami said sarcastically. Hey! Starflight protested. Exactly, Glory said. She crouched down on the floor slowly as the stone were eating her alive. Grays and browns and blacks crept over her scales. All her beautiful colors faded away. Shadows and crags behind her apparently perfectly reproduced, as if the Dragonets were seeing right through her. She closed her eyes and vanished. Wow, I knew you could, but I'd never... The Guardians don't know I can do this. They all jumped as Glory's voice came from the top of a stalagmite. I guess it's a good thing we never studied rain wings after all. I'll find a corner and hide. You don't even have to risk the river, Clay. I could just stay like this. For how long? Starflight said. Until you starve or one of them catches you accidentally? Tsunami was right earlier. We do need to get out of here. As soon as we can. Sunny gave Tsunami an unhappy look. Why didn't anybody tell me? She asked, but no one answered her. All right, said Glory with a sigh. Her green eyes appeared again, halfway across the cave. She was looking straight at Clay. Do what you want, as long as you're not doing it only for me. I'll stay out of the way until Clay comes back to get us. Clay felt the rosy pink color was rising up through his scales now. Glory trusted him. She believed he could do this. He could save her. He could save all of them. He just had to survive the river first. That is the end of chapter 6. Sorry, I just saw chapter 7 right there. I'll be back soon for chapter 7. I'll read up there and see if it's good, get it figured out, and I'll keep on reading a couple of kids' books. So, bye.